Okay, everyone, so this is one of your first examples that you're hopefully practicing on your own here of one-sided limits that could go to positive or negative infinity. So this first one, hopefully you tried it on your own first, but I'm always going to take us back to this slide that we just learned a little bit earlier about one-sided limits approaching vertical asymptotes. If your x value is approaching vertical asymptotes, then your answer will not be positive or negative infinity, and usually you have to use substitution or whatever method to figure it out. If you are approaching a vertical asymptote, and when we say that, we mean typically you're dividing by 0, then your answer is either going to be positive or negative infinity of your one-sided limit. In that case, you want to plug in a number just to the right or left of that number, just to see which way you're headed. So let's look at our first example here. So we got a couple things going on. X squared minus 1 over x. Well, this first one, x squared, there's nothing in that expression that I really have to worry about in a vertical asymptote. This is the one that kind of concerns me right now because we're dividing by x and we're approaching 0. That would give us some sort of potential vertical asymptote there. So what I'm going to do to start is just use my rules of limits, knowing that I can divide this up into kind of two pieces here. Limit as x approaches 0 from the positive side of my first term, x squared, minus my limit as x approaches 0 from the positive side of 1 over x. Okay, that allows me to just kind of look at each one separately and see what's going on here. So on this first one, again, there's no vertical asymptote. We're not dividing by 0, so I can just plug in, I can substitute in my number. It's just going to be 0. 0 squared is 0, so this is just 0. Okay, minus, now we have to figure out what's going on in this second one, because if I just substitute in 0, I'm going to be at an asymptote. So I know it's either going to be positive or negative infinity. We just have to figure out which one it is. So like we said in our previous slide, we want to take a number. This happens to be on the positive side. So we want to take a number just to the positive side of 0. So for example, if I were to use the number, let's try 0.1 for example. Okay, if I plug that in, I would have 1 over 0.1. That would give me a positive 10. This is a positive number, this is a positive number. So I know that I'm not dividing by negative or anything like that. It's not going to turn this into a negative. So it's going to lead me to positive infinity. Okay, if I plugged in 0.0001, it would be an even bigger number. Either way, it would always be positive. So I know that this is traveling to or going to infinity. Okay, however, can't forget about this x squared. So 0 minus infinity actually brings us to a negative infinity. Okay, so that would have been our first answer.